I've always been a mustard guy. But given the results of last night, I may be softening. Maybe I'll go with turkey and mayo. Even Helman's. Let's talk sandwiches and baseball next on the DLLS Rangers podcast. Yeah, the surge is on, actually. The Rangers having won 3 of their first 4 in the second half, the ceremonial second half of the season, as we welcome you into the DLLS Rangers studio and the DLLS Rangers podcast. John Radigan here, Abby Jones there. We've got the Queen, the cat over there taking care of us today. So we'll be glad to have you in the chat. And, it's fun to chat baseball again, isn't it, Mista? We appreciate you and everybody else who will chat along with us. During the next hour while we talk Rangers, we talk a team that has won 75% of its games, Abs, since the All-Star break.
Yeah, the boys are cooking.
It's a pretty good percentage.
And there's nothing like home cooking. Corey Seager, said you really want to start the second half strong. It's a long season. We talked to Jack Leiter last night after his outing and, about the approach, and he said it's a sprint. You know that you're going to have to hopefully gear up to contend and play baseball into October. That's exactly what the Rangers look like they're getting ready to do.
Yeah, it's an amazing statement from Jack because the narrative is always the baseball season is a marathon, not a sprint. But at some point, right? So this may not be a 100-yard dash, Abs, but we might be looking at, say, a 440. Right. Or an 880, which is certainly a fast sprint, fast twitch fiber kind of guy. Yeah. And look, when you have a sprint going, youth can be so important. Young legs can be so important.
Young whippersnapper.
And yes, did the youth come through last night? I tweeted at one point last night, I'm just so happy that most of the damage offensively was done by guys not named Corey Seager and Marcus Semien. Not rooting for them to have a bad night, but so happy that the other guys are coming through. We're going to get into Josh Jung's triumphant return a little bit later on in the program. We also want to talk some updates, not all of them good, on the pitching front. Get into deGrom Day, and then, of course, our cleanup segment. But first, let's talk about this youth, right? These young people on this team, Abs, that have come through in many big ways. And Cody Freeman, who you've been his pal the last few days. What a great day. What a great moment for Cody Freeman yesterday to get that first hit and the first RBIs all knocked out at the same time.
Yeah, I didn't realize we did talk to him last year during those minor league awards.
That's right.
He was the minor league defensive player of the year. And now that I'm kind of remembering that moment, I remember there was one standout guy that was just so polite, so excited every single time that you talked to him. I mean, you could just tell he was happy to be there. And that was Cody Freeman. So Cody's been, he's what a week. He was in Vegas, blackjack, and his mom was running the slots, and then started as a minor leaguer, left a major leaguer, came to the big league, started his debut against Tarek Skubal on Sunday Night Baseball. His first opportunity to get in the game, he was pinch running and scored the winning run.
Yep.
So, it's looked maybe a little bit different than you draw it up when you're a kid, but nonetheless, he got a big hit last night. And we have sound of talking to him last night about, just what he is able to do for the Rangers.
Having vets and guys like, Seager, Semien, and giving me advice before the game and stuff like that really helped me out. And just playing around them and playing on the same field as them, it's an honor.
When you were on second base, how long did it take you to process that Helman hit the home run and round the bases?
Oh, right away. Once he made contact, I threw my arms up, and I knew that. I mean, I knew it was his first homer, and I knew it gave us 3 runs to, get more runs for the pitching staff who dominated tonight. Shout out to Jack and the bullpen. Great stuff.
I absolutely love that. He had to give all of the flowers to the guys. Shout out to Jack for great pitching. But also, I like that he mentioned that Corey Seager and Marcus Semien, pulled him aside to kind of encourage him because, contrary to beliefs and comments earlier this season from previous players, the leadership might have been a little silent in the locker room or the clubhouse, excuse me. So, yeah, it was great to hear that, and you're just happy for a guy that plays the way that he does.
Well, and I tweeted this too. I was so happy for the young man and said, I hope his family is still here.
Yeah.
Did we confirm or deny that?
I didn't get to ask him. I'll ask
They've
him
got
today.
to be. Right?
Yeah, I would
They
imagine.
had to stay more than a day. They couldn't. They were with him in Las Vegas when he got the call up, and they couldn't make that quick flight that he had to get on to get there in time for the game, which he wasn't in time for the game on Friday. Right. He came in the middle of the game. And anyway, that was...
he was getting photos with somebody post-game.
That's probably
near the family room, so I think it was.
That's great. I hope so. And yes, and then speaking of late comers to the game, Michael Helman got the call up yesterday. They were still in Vegas. They gave them that Monday off day that minor league teams enjoy. The Round Rock Express gave those guys the Monday off day in Vegas. So he and Josh Jung were still in Vegas when they got the call up. As we mentioned, we're going to chat lots more about Josh Jung in a minute, but they get to the ballpark, Abs, at 6:30. No batting practice afterward, and they both had great games, right? And afterwards, Bruce Bochy says, "Yeah, kind of like American Legion ball. Maybe this batting practice crap is overrated."
Well, especially when Klay Thompson's, hogging the whole cage. I'm joking. Klay actually did surprisingly well, though.
Yeah, we're going to show Clay's thing a little later,
I feel like he might have been able to get it.
Yeah, he was way better than advertised or expected, perhaps.
But it was funny because every single person that they called up, produced in the lineup. And I saw a stat today that I thought was pretty interesting because there has been 14 separate transactions that the Rangers have made since last Tuesday's All-Star game. 3 players placed on the IL and 6 players called up from the minor leagues. So there has been a lot of up and down with this club. And sometimes you just don't know how that's going to click or if it's going to take a while to click. But to see instant progress and support from the Rangers that they called up, especially in the minor leagues, Josh Jung, I mean, you kind of expected him to do that. He's been there before. But for these younger guys, I mean, that's a big deal.
It's huge. And Rhonda clarifies for us in the interview with Laura, which I didn't see, Cody said his family's not still there. So too bad. We appreciate Rhonda, though, we appreciate the update. And again, they were still very proud, no matter where they were watching that. And remember, of course, he's got a brother that plays too. So, not the Lone Ranger in that family, that's for sure. But yes, so Michael Helman, it was really fun to, again, to just hit the first pitch that he sees out, and that was the play. That was the one that gave the Rangers those add-on runs, Abs, that they've needed so badly. They've been involved in so many close games and so many one-run games, and you need to add on when you have that kind of sort of offensive night going. Okay, cool. We're not getting shut out. We're not getting no-hit. We're not right, but you have to add on, especially against a team like the A's. And that's what Helman did.
Yeah, no doubt. And it's kind of funny. We talked to him after the game, and, it's just unlikely that Cody would have that at bat that he did, and then Helman would follow it up afterwards. Because, when we were talking to Cody, like, did you get to savor any of your first hit? Because you immediately had to round the bases and reach home plate. And Michael was saying he kind of felt bad that he hit the home run when he did because Cody didn't have the chance to celebrate. And I was like, I don't think he cares, Michael.
No, he did. He got to celebrate a little bit. You saw his joy, and I don't know if it was the interview we just played or another one I heard that he said like he blacked out. He hit the ball, and all of a sudden he was at second base. Right? Again, instinct and adrenaline take over, and he just started churning towards second base.
And Cody is so nice, but man, he was fired up on the base paths, and you could just see. I think when he plays, he's a dominant player.
Yeah,
and that Mr. Nice Guy kind of goes away.
Sure, and the reality is, it's a tall order, as he's mentioned, to face one of the best pitchers in the game the night before in his starting debut as a major league player, but a little bit different. You get to show your skill set, and you get to, sort of face a mere mortal the next night and show what you can do. And it's great to see that accomplishment. There's no question about that. Great to see what Michael Helman did. And finally, look, let's not act like Jack Leiter is not young anymore, because he is. Jack Leiter is still a very young man. I loved his pitching performance last night.
Jack did great. Jack is, again, just been so poised. I want to use the word poised.
Right. I love it.
This season, because I think it really explains what he's done. He matched a career high of 7 strikeouts last night, 4 looking, 3 swinging. I asked him about that. He said he wasn't exactly chasing strikeouts, but he felt really good about his pitch count. And when you're able to work that pitch count the way that you want, pitch a good sequence, then strikeouts are a result of that. So I actually liked that takeaway, because I think early on these young players can get focused on the stat line and what's going to look the best. But Jack just wants to, throw the baseball well. And because of that, the stat line follows. So I think the shift is, you can tell the shift is there, that he's focused on pitch by pitch, his overall performance, and not just, I threw 10 Ks or, whatever, because you could do that and also give up 3 home runs. So,
right.
I really liked his approach, and I think you continue to see growth.
You do, and it's a way easier said than done as a young pitcher, especially, to get out there and not think about the whole game, right? It's so boring, and it's so tedious, and it's so monotonous to just think about the next pitch. And I talked to Mike Bassick about this yesterday. We were just chatting, and he said, every pitch has to have a purpose. Mm-hmm. Mike, of course, a former major league pitcher, and coaches kids now, and that type, including his own boys. But anyway, Mike said that is what you have to think about. So even a pitch that's way out of the zone, and he said, of course, sometimes you're going to lose the handle on a pitch or something. It's not going to, but even a pitch way out of the zone should have a purpose. And if the pitching coach comes up to you after the game and says, what was the purpose of that pitch that was, 2 feet out of the zone? You should be able to say, well, that was to set him up for the next one, right?
Right.
He wants there to be that kind of thought and forethought given to every pitch out there. Do all pitchers do this? Probably not. But that's a perfect world. And so that's what we talk about when we say slowing the game down.
Right.
And right now, I think, to your exact point, Abs, the game has slowed down for Jack Leiter. And that's why he's not getting, like when we used to, just even last year when we'd see him just get so frustrated out there, my guess is his brain had gone to the big picture, right? Damn it, I'm not going to have a good game.
Yeah.
Just have a good next pitch.
Right.
Right? And that's hard. It's not easy to do. It's really hard to sort of bring that back in and realize that there's still a chance of having a good game if you throw a really good next pitch. And I love to see, as you called it, that growth in Jack Leiter. And I really do think, Abs, that the poise is familial, right? Mm-hmm. I think he watched his dad for all those years. I think he's watched so many great pitchers for all the years because he's been around baseball in the family, as you were. And I think that, you realize probably even at a young age, you have to rein in your emotions and show that poise on the mound in order to be successful at the big league level.
That's another part that you learn too, playing with emotion. You've got to use it to your advantage sometimes. I mean, Tarek Skubal is a perfect example of that. But, when Jack first started making his appearances out, man, do you remember watching him? He would just talk to himself.
Yeah.
Pitch after pitch. And, it's like you're spending so much of the game in your head instead of just doing and kind of seeing. So yeah, so much growth. I think another key thing is that Jack's using all 5 of his pitches.
Yeah.
And that's not an easy thing to do at the major league level. And what I'm really impressed by is that he's kind of splitting the workload between the 4-seam fastball and the changeup. He's using the 4-seam 35% of the time, changeup 31%. Sinker, slider, curveball, mixing it in a bit, but he's getting really, really smart at when to play those, and he's getting confident in his put away pitch.
Well, and that's the thing. You're trying. Your goal is, your attempt is to keep the hitter off balance, right, and not know what to expect, because that's what they're doing up there. They're guessing on what's coming, and so if you can keep them off balance and not let them know what's coming, and it helps in that case to have 5 pitches to choose from. So he's commanding them all. He did a great job last night. Great performance by him and by the Rangers. Coming up next, we get ready for another great pitching performance. At least we anticipate another one. It's deGrom Day. We talk about that and give you some pitching updates next on the DLLS Rangers podcast.
But if you want to go to the game last minute, Game Time?
Yeah.
Game Time is the go-to place to get your tickets. You want to know why they're my favorite?
Tell me.
Because you know exactly what you're going to pay before you go to the checkout.
Yeah, that's true.
You pick the ticket.
You're not going to have all those fees, are you?
Right. You pick the ticket. You can also see where you're going to sit before you pay, so that you know that you're not going to have an obstructed view. Have you seen those photos of a guy sitting behind the foul pole?
Yeah.
And, oh, blue, that was a strike. You're not going to have to worry about that with Game Time, because you can check out your seat before you buy. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use the code DLLS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. No hidden fees, no surprise. And if something did happen to the event, they would either give a refund or work something out. So you are good to go when you use Game Time. What time is it?
Game time.
Game time?
Yep, right here on the DLLS Rangers podcast. And it's also time to talk about another OG. Game Time's one of them. But another original gangsta sponsor is Empire Today. And Empire Today is our favorite flooring superstore. And the main reason is that they only do flooring. So we call them a superstore, and that's because they're huge. They have anything you want in the way of flooring products, and yet they don't have things that you don't want when you're shopping for floors, like hammers and nails and garden equipment and toilets, right? So Empire Today does one thing, and they do it so well. They do floors. You want a home field advantage? You go to Empire Today. That is what they want to give you. That's what the Rangers have proven that they're going to have, at least hopefully for the rest of the second half of the season. EmpireToday.com is where you'll go and use the code DLLS. Get $350 off your brand new floors. All right, so it just occurred to me when I saw Mista's chat there, deGrom Day. And so often this season, when it was deGrom Day, we were kind of like, lead the show. It's deGrom Day. And the reason for that was we didn't want to look at yesterday, right?
Right.
It sucked. We talked about it yesterday. We don't want to talk about it, right? Kind of fun that
we get to talk about last night's show today.
Right. That we get to revel a little bit in the glory of not only last night, but really 3 of the last 4. And deGrom certainly is worthy of a lead any given day. We don't know what he's going to do tonight, Abs, but I think that through his first 15 starts of the season, we pretty much do know what he's going to do today.
I mean, if it's Jacob deGrom, I'm going to guess he's going to deGrominate.
Yes.
You see what I did there?
I like that. Yeah.
Do you want to hear his numbers against Oakland specifically?
Yeah.
All right. So he is 2-0 with a 1.5 ERA, 3 earned runs across 17 innings and 3 starts. He struck out 24 strikeouts, 0 walks, 64 batters faced.
Wait. How many games is that? 3? Yeah.
3 starts.
So 8 strikeouts a game, 24 strikeouts. This is
0
good.
walks.
Oh, yeah, and that's him. I mean, it's so rare that he gives up walks. Does it break it down 2 home runs?
It does not, but I can pull those numbers for you.
Yeah, because I wonder, that's the one thing.
But this won't be.
It hasn't hurt him. But Jacob, eyeball test tells me he's been giving up a few more home runs than normal lately. And again, he's still generally, I think there was one game where he allowed 3 runs, but he's still basically right there. He had that long stretch. I think it was 14 or 15 in a row.
He's allowed 1 home run against the A's.
Yeah, that's good. So, but he had 14 or 15 in a row where he only allowed 2 runs, whether they won, lost, or tied. Well, there's no ties. But anyway, it's really exciting to have Jacob deGrom on the mound anytime. I think that one of the things we have to anticipate with deGrom, if you want to keep him under an innings threshold with the hope and plan, right, tentative plan to have him pitching into October, I really think you have to start limiting the innings. And so 5, I mean, if he did 5 innings on every anticipated start the rest of the way, he would remain under that 180, 185 inning threshold that they'd like to maintain. I don't know that. I mean, it's going to depend on the game, right? It's going to depend on the opponent. It's going to depend on the situation. But I think that would be their goal, is to try and get him out after 5 or certainly after 6.
Well, I actually asked Grom about this probably a little too early on in the season. I think it maybe was like his 12th start or something, and he was kind of starting because, I mean, he's over 100 innings pitched.
Oh, I know.
It's 112.
112, is it?
112 and 1/3.
106, yeah.
So maybe it was a little bit too early, but I did kind of tee up that question, with hoping to contend. At what point do you start looking at your workload? And of course, deGrom's answer is, well, if it's up to me, I'm going as long as I can.
Yeah.
And he wants to go longer, and that's what every good pitcher says.
No doubt.
I think that's an interesting point we should talk to Boch about today, because it's getting to the point that you got to start looking at, this point of the season. I think you kind of do have to start moving those chess pieces to strategically play. Maybe you I don't want to say you lose a game here, but you can sacrifice maybe deGrom not going that far in a game against the A's.
Yeah, and it certainly depends on how, desperately you needed the bullpen in the previous game.
Yeah.
And they didn't need it desperately last night, thanks to Jack Leiter, right? So the bullpen's relatively fresh right now. And so I think you take the opportunity, and again, it won't happen if it's a really close game or some sort of pitcher's duel has broken out. I don't think he'll go past 6 either way, unless he's got a no-hitter going, and then he'll go as long as they don't get a hit. But anyway, I think that
I don't think they're going to slow that rookie down, but we can talk about that later.
Oh yeah. I wouldn't be surprised.
They have a few rookies, but
I wouldn't be surprised at all that the Rangers have another really good offensive night, and that way you can get Jacob deGrom out of there sooner.
Oh, I was talking about the A's rookie, Nick Kurtz.
I see what you're saying. Yeah. No, but they for the Rangers tonight, it's a matter of hopefully having a lead to where they can get Jacob deGrom out of the game and not have to push him too far, whether Jacob wants to come out or not. And I think he's acknowledged since you talked to him, we have to be smart, right? It's just playing smart. Work smart, not hard. Play smart, not hard sometimes. And I think that's where the Rangers need to be right now. It's
well, we'll ask. I'd like to hear Boch and deGrom's answer about that tonight, because it's getting to the point that it's numbers you can look at.
Yep. Yeah.
And have a discussion about.
Yeah, absolutely. Now we got an update yesterday from Boch about Chris Martin, and obviously there was a roster move. So one of the first questions we asked of Boch was the level of concern on Chris Martin. He goes on the 15-day injured list, and it's a left calf strain. Mm-hmm. And I just said, is there a level of concern? And Boch's like, oh, yeah, this is going to be a 4 to 6 week deal. Yeah. And I was shocked by it. When you think about it, in baseball, we don't hear that many calf strains, right? That's not an injury that we are, sort of conditioned to know that even a strain is going to be a 4 to 6 week thing. So I asked Bassick that one too. I said, have you ever had a calf injury? He said, no. He goes, not sure I know anybody that's ever had a calf injury, right?
Mm-hmm.
But Boach said these things are tricky. Calves are hard to heal. And so 4 to 6 weeks, man, that gets him back sometime around September 1st. And of course they called up Cole Winn, who's done a great job in his other, stints up here. I think his ERA is sitting at like 1.78.
Mm-hmm.
So Cole Winn is no slouch, but that was your setup guy. That was your 8th inning guy, Chris Martin. And that was a guy who is and was so unflappable in those situations. And so, it's a definite loss there. And I think definitely affects the whole conversation we had yesterday about what the Rangers do at the trade deadline. Look, we already thought they were only going to go for bullpen help, not a hitter. The reality is they may need more bullpen help.
You need
now.
arms.
Yeah.
You need all the arms that you can get, especially if you're going to contend.
Yeah, and Chris
late.
Jung said it. He said it again yesterday. He said, you can never have enough pitching, Never have enough.
Well,
pitching.
you need those high leverage arms. And I think this makes the veterans that we discussed yesterday that much more valuable, because when you know what you're getting out of Chris Martin. I mean, that man has been in the big leagues a long time. He's been at the highest stage possible. So that, I think that is a really big loss just because of the postseason experience that he has. And those high leverage situations. I mean, you can count on Chris Martin.
Yeah, and to your point, what all that means when he's been on the big leagues that long, that means he's old. And that's what nobody's old compared to me, but that's what Bassick said to me. He goes, dude, he's 39, right? Takes a long time much longer for 39-year-olds to heal.
Hey, well,
than
they
it
did
does for 22-year-olds.
Did you see that there was a 45-year-old called up?
Huh?
There was a 45.
Oh yeah. Rich Hill.
Yeah.
Rich Hill. Yeah. Oh, I saw that.
Hey,
yeah.
it's a child's game. They say.
It is, but not for Rich Hill. I mean, Nolan pitched till he was 46, so it's not impossible. Nathan Eovaldi, Chris Jung said yesterday, could pitch as soon as tomorrow. Boach is saying we're not naming a day yet. Chris Jung came out a little later and said Nathan could pitch as soon as tomorrow. It kind of depended on how the treatment and the reaction of his back was yesterday. But this was just back tightness, back stiffness. They're once again going with an abundance of caution. Mm-hmm. But if Nathan says he's okay, and wouldn't that be great? To the point and to the question you asked the chat, will the sweep happen? deGrom, then Eovaldi,
then Evo.
You'd feel a hell of a lot better about a sweep possibility given that, wouldn't you?
Yeah, you would. No, with just with what Boach said about Evo yesterday, he said there's not a reason to push this.
True.
It's not that point of the season, so you'd rather take your time and hope that nothing else happens because, if he were a younger guy, maybe he would push it. And, I kind of had a conversation with Boach yesterday about how do you manage, these guys are fighting for, not Nathan Eovaldi, but young guys fighting for their chance. And mainly like Cody Freeman, hey, I can play anywhere you need me. And, as a manager, how do you realistically approach health and availability and where you're going to place them? Because, these guys are going to say whatever. It's the vets that will really tell you what you need to know as a manager. And, that comes with time. I mean, looking at your manager and saying, hey, I don't really feel right. I don't want to push this. I don't think I can go today. That's something that comes with age in this game.
Well, and so does, the opposite of that, right? The manager has to know he can believe,
right.
A Nathan Eovaldi when he says, I can go, right?
Right.
And he does. And he can because Nathan knows if he can't, you don't risk it, right?
Yeah.
At this stage, at this age, you don't risk it. But that trust has to work both ways, that the guy is going to be honest with whether he says he can't go or maybe more importantly, if he says he can go. So we'll see. We'll see how Nathan Eovaldi does. We'll give an update on Jon Gray here in a minute. Rangers have signed their number 1 draft pick. That's coming up. And it's been a resurrection for a few players thanks to the minor leagues. We talk about that and more next on the DLLS Rangers podcast.
Is it my turn?
Yeah, Shady Rays, girl.
Oh, my turn for Shady Rays. Well, it's sunny,
Yeah.
and we're heading out to the field. Do you have to walk from that really far lot?
No, did you?
I do
Oh,
sometimes, and I got to bring some sunglasses with me because
Yeah.
it's long enough. You can walk for like maybe 2 songs if
Wow.
you're listening. It's quite the walk. But I do
Now
pull
you get
out.
your steps in.
I pull out. Not when it's 100 degrees, Rads. I pull out my Shady Rays, and they are so kind to give us 35% off when you use the code DLLS35. But Shady Rays, they are cool. They are stylish. They are durable. You lost yours in the
Car seat. Yeah.
car seat, and they're fine.
Yeah. No problem.
No scratch, no issue.
Nope.
So,
Dropped a pair
yeah,
on the pool deck the other day.
Yeah.
No scratch.
Sunglasses, like good, like name brand ones, like you're like, oh, these look so cool, but then you're worried you don't want to wear them because you're like, what if they scratch these things? Shady Rays doesn't scratch. You get a good deal. 35% off DLLS 35.
Yep, no doubt. That's a great product, and this is a great opportunity. You have a chance to go with our crew to a Cowboys game in Las Vegas. How fun would that be? It's the middle of November. It's when the Cowboys play the Raiders on Monday Night Football, and it's through True Fan Travel, who basically sets everything up for you. This is an all-inclusive trip, which basically means you're going to get your plane ticket, your hotel, and your game ticket at that really fun and lovely new stadium, still new stadium there in Las Vegas. So do yourself a favor and scan that QR code or check it out on our website, but get yourself to Las Vegas with the Cowboys thanks to True Fan Travel and DLLS. All right, so let's get to some of these things first. Jon Gray, we want to update Jon Gray. He got 10 years of service time yesterday. That was his official 10-year day, and we had a chance to talk to him, and he was beaming. And it's like, what does Major League Baseball give you for that? Nothing.
A pension.
Yeah. Well, that's pretty good.
You get a heck of a lot.
You get a pension, but wouldn't you think you get a pin? You get
the card at 8.
Yeah, I thought they got the card at 10.
You get the
card
at 8.
is magic. I mean, it gets you into any Major League Baseball game, anytime, anywhere for the rest of your life.
Minus All-Star and World Series postseasons.
Is that right? Yeah, okay. And so your dad has one, obviously. Does he get to take the whole family, or is it just him?
It's just 2.
Okay. Oh, 2. But 2. That's good. Yeah, 2. So
he never uses it, though.
He doesn't? No. Well, he's working in the game. I think if you weren't working in the game, you might, avail yourself to it a little bit more.
Bochy doesn't have one.
No.
He has the card. He doesn't have the pension because he played for 9 years.
Oh, geez. Yeah, well, that's why he's still working. Oh, no, not really.
He kind of made that joke.
Did he? Yeah.
But his wife, Jacqueline, so for 1,000 strikeouts, he was gifted a Bentley. And
she's a sweet wife.
That thing rolled up for the World Series parade, and I spotted it from a mile away. I was like, this is Jon Gray. But his gift this year was an engraved watch. He didn't say what kind of watch. I mean, I can use my imagination. That's pretty spiffy.
Imagine it's not a Timex.
But he got a watch.
Do they make Timex still?
I don't
Timex used to be a big deal. It was a big deal.
I don't know.
Back in the day. But yeah, good for Jon Gray. And here's the more sort of relevant update on Jon Gray. He'll be coming off the injured list tomorrow, right? Yes. He is ready, and he is ready for anything, right? I did ask him. I said, any chance you could start Wednesday? Because if Evo doesn't, there's nobody available. But he pitched Saturday, and he goes, no, I can't turn it around that fast. So, he probably wouldn't be ready to start until Thursday or Friday. And I'm not sure that they'll be needing him there, depending on what they do. But he's ready to be a starter, and he's ready to go into the bullpen. Either one. I think right now it's more likely that they will use him out of the bullpen as long as Nathan Eovaldi, is coming back and there's not a vacancy in that starting rotation, because the reality is right now there's no need for him. Leiter, Rocker, Corbin.
Is he your new
deGrom,
setup guy?
And Eovaldi.
Is he your new setup guy?
It's a possibility. He's going to be more unflappable. He said before he's got a rubber arm. None of his injuries have ever been the arm, and he would be able to pitch again, not every day, but if you need him 2 or maybe 3 days in a row, he feels like he could answer the bell.
I don't mind Jon Gray as a setup guy.
I don't either.
It's actually not a bad idea.
Jon Gray, who hasn't cut his hair, I asked him about this. He hasn't cut his hair since before the World Series. It's getting long. It's almost as long as yours, Abs.
I could tell.
Yeah. Jon Gray's hair is getting long. Watch for that when he comes back out. He's so excited to get back on that mound. Remember, he got a comebacker right off the wrist during spring training. He was pitching well. He'd been through all of his share of injuries over the course of the years in his career. And this one was just such a, so random and so annoying and sometimes so unavoidable. So he is chomping at the bit to get back there. Said his velocity is about normal, but he also told me, he said, I think I got more in there, which is great because his normal velo and his normal stuff is crazy. When he's at his best, he's almost unhittable.
Right.
And so if you're talking about more velo added to that stuff, Jon Gray could have a really good couple of months and could be really significant in this stretch run for the Rangers.
Oh, yeah. The Rangers, ran this thing during pregame one day, and it's like asking everybody, oh, who's got the nastiest pitch? Who's got the nastiest pitch? Every single one of them said Jon Gray on a breaking ball. So, when he's on, he's on.
He's on. Rangers have signed or come to terms with their first-round draft pick, Gavin Fien, and a couple of the other ones, including the kid Abelt from TCU. But Gavin, for sure, is going to be at Globe Life Field. In fact, right now, there's a press conference happening at Globe Life Field to introduce him as the number 1 pick. He signed for $4.5 million. Slot is just over $5.6 million for that player. So the Rangers save, a $1.1 million that they will reallocate somewhere else to get somebody signed. But they've signed 3 of the draft picks already. They had just under $10 million, I think it was, to use for their first 10 draft picks. So you have to be judicious, but I think in part because he's coming from the high school ranks, a $4.5 million signing bonus sounded and looked pretty good to Gavin Fien. So he's signed. He'll get to work. He'll report to Arizona and get things going right away. You'll also have a chance, I'm certain, to meet him on via the broadcast tonight. Mike Bassick told me yesterday they were pretty sure that they'd have him in the booth. And actually, Jared told me he thought Gavin might be joining him on the pregame show as well. So there's this is really good news. I mean, especially with an 18-year-old kid, you want to get him, into the organization and get him going as soon as you possibly can.
Right.
You don't need holdouts. You don't need rancor. This is great.
Yeah, and they're kind of talking about his position already. He's a right-handed hitter. They have him ranked 22nd, MLB Pipeline does, and 31 for Baseball America. But, he's probably not going to stick at the shortstop. They're probably projecting him to be the long-term third baseman and chance to be pushed in the corner outfield. But, oh my gosh, we didn't get to talk about Wyatt Langford's catch.
Oh,
I was about to say that corner outfield, left and right, ain't going anywhere because Wyatt Langford, gosh, Gold Glove him.
Yeah, no doubt. And, don't be so sure about right. I mean, even if Dlls finishes the year really strong, they're going to have a decision to make on him at the end of the year. But Wyatt Langford, to your point, is not going anywhere. Don't throw his name out there and trade. He's not hitting much right now, but, man, he's playing defense.
Well, we talked – I brought up the stat. I don't know what it is today, but prior to yesterday's game, he was 0 for 15 in his last 15 at-bats. And, I asked Boch, year 2, do you have a better understanding of the pace? Because year 1, you're deer in the headlights. You're just trying to keep your head above water and survive. Year 2, you can kind of, So I think there's going to be these little stretches. But, it was September when Wyatt took off last year. We know that he's got a lot of juice in the tank. I think it's just a little rust coming off of the All-Star break, So I'm not worried about Wyatt Langford.
No, not at all. That's the hard-working kid. The only thing that they worry about with that young man is working too hard.
Working too hard?
Yeah, working too hard. They've got to rein that in some. and hopefully they would never need to do what they have done twice very successfully this year, and that is send a player to the minor leagues and then watch him come back resurrected. And so let's get to the latest resurrection story first, and that's Josh Jung. And oh my gosh, so happy for Josh Jung that last night was almost a microcosm of the last time he got called up from AAA, right? He got called up from AAA and hit a home run in his very first at bat as a major league player. He got called up from AAA yesterday and hit a home run in what? His very first at bat. I mean, just fantastic for Josh Jung, who after the game was talking with Abs and some of the others. Laura was, I think, in on this too. But after the game, he was downright emotional.
It's a crazy day. But to just get some results like that, I mean, it's great. Helps you build confidence right away.
Chris Young said it seemed like in AAA that was a big part of it, just rebuilding confidence, finding who you were at the plate. How did you do that?
Just growing every day, honestly. The hitting coach down there, Cody Atkinson, and Lawson, just every day breaking it down, trying to figure out a way. I mean, it's just that simple. It's just every day, just growing in everything you do. And every cage session, everything, we were breaking it down backwards and forwards, trying to figure it out. And got some results tonight, but we just got to build on it.
What were the main things that you were focusing on that you think made the biggest difference?
Oh gosh, can't give away my secrets. Everything. I mean, it really is everything. Literally, we'd walk in the cage, and all we talked about every day was like, how are we going to grow today? And it was that simple.
What is how good did it feel though when you knew that ball was going over the fence?
Well, I didn't know it was going over the fence.
Okay, when you saw it went over the fence.
I mean, it felt great because I wasn't trying to do that, honestly, and just to get that result in the first at bat, it was like, oh, you can settle down and just play ball.
I bet we spent 15 minutes around his locker. He was really emotional, but he, I mean, this is a part of the big leagues too, and he said June was the worst month of his life, hitting 158, 15 hits, 1 home run, 12 RBI, 7 runs scored in 24 games. I mean, Josh Jung has faced adversity in injury, but he hasn't struggled at the big league level at all. So this is new territory for him. I kind of asked him, hey, you've been the big brother to your brother Jace, and you've helped him in his, exciting moments, but how much has he been here for you in these? Because Jace doesn't have a, clear spot with the Tigers as of right now, up and down with the minor league club a bit. So I said, did you have to kind of lean on your little brother to help you get through this? And yeah, he was so emotional, and he just said he's stepping into the box now with so much conviction. And we all know what Josh Jung's capable of. Bochy also alluded to, maybe he won't realize this is a good thing. But hopefully hindsight, he realizes this was necessary. And I asked him, I know it's just one game, but can you already see this paying off? And he was like, oh my gosh, yes, it was the biggest mindset shift. And I mean, that was a very vulnerable and real interview. So I loved that for Josh, and I was really happy. He sprinted around the bases. He was so happy.
Yeah, I talked to Ray Davis about the owner of the team, about the bringing Josh back and what the thoughts were, and he was just the same way Ray was, very, very appreciative of the attitude and the work that Josh showed down there. And Josh also said, basically, I wasn't paying attention to the big league team while I was down there, because every day, and I think he said it as in a portion of the interview just there, every day I just woke up every day and approached it like, how are we going to grow today? How are we going to grow today? And that's what he was down there to do, was sort of grow himself back into a major league hitter, a major league all-star, a major league potential
World
superstar,
Series winner,
right? That's what he is. That's where Josh Jung's career will go, as long as he doesn't get too far into his head. And he's very cerebral, so it's easy to do that.
I know we got to go, but he did say the biggest thing was, playing at the big league level, every single day you're expected to perform. He said there, you can just grow. And sometimes people see it, sometimes people don't. But I think, these guys are people too. So.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, he'll continue to grow, and we'll see if the Rangers can continue to roll because they're on a bit of a roll right now. Coming up next, let us get to our batting cleanup segment, and that is where you will find one NBA superstar looking pretty good at baseball. That's next on the DLLS Rangers podcast. But first, we want to remind you to become a diehard. It's the greatest way for you to expand your sports fandom. Remember, the reason we're here is to make sports more fun, right? We know sports are fun. Our idea, and the founders of our company, the idea is let's make sports even more fun. So the things we have on our website and the things that you get as a diehard are all designed to do exactly that. Make sports more fun for you. We've got great writing going on, especially I noticed a picture yesterday of Clarence Hill front and center with a walk-off type interview because they were behind a fence. It wasn't the State of the Cowboys, but Jerry was right there. And who else is right there? Clarence Hill, because that's our guy.
Who else would it be?
Who else would it be? Clarence, who's covered this team forever. Jeff, who's covered the Rangers as a writer forever. And then we've got, Sam Nessler working and Tim Cato working the Stars and Mavs beats, respectively. You can't get better content than those guys. $79.99. It's ridiculous what a good deal that is. And, Abby, you get a free shirt if you become a diehard.
You do, and go ahead and take advantage of this Dallas collection. Is that kind of like a play on Vegas? It looks fun. I like these shirts.
Yeah, I like that one. I've ordered that one.
Do you have the Nolan Ryan one?
I do.
Okay,
yeah,
I was going to say.
Me and Kat both do.
I feel like
and
that
I think,
would be...
I think I saw Owen wearing one day, too.
Owen has a lot of shirts.
Yeah.
Owen and Jeff, we could have a race on who has the most shirts.
Yeah.
I think Jeff
but
has
I like,
about 17.
I've ordered the Vegas looking one, which I actually think is more of a Texas barbecue.
I was about to say, maybe that's Texas barbecue.
Yeah. And then I've ordered the Dallas versus y'all, which when I moved here, man, I thought all y'all was like the craziest phrase I've ever heard in my life. I'm like,
technically it's all you
they'd
all.
Say, we like all y'all's houses. I'm like, I don't even know what we're saying here, But up north,
don't get me started
up
on
north.
on,
we say
on
you guys,
downstairs.
we say you guys and use guys up there. So anyway, very cool shirts that we've got out there in that Dallas selection stuff. So, all right. Speaking of cool shirts, we were standing there yesterday when somebody from the Rangers front office went and grabbed a jersey, number 31, and put it on one Klay Thompson. And number 7, right? Was that what? And put it on Dwight Powell.
Correct.
And those two guys were having so much fun at the ball yard. I don't even want to say meeting the players because they know many of them.
Well, Klay and Marcus are friends.
Yeah.
That was very apparent.
Yeah, clearly. And they know him. I saw, I don't know how they knew him or know him, but Rowdy Tellez clearly knew and is somehow connected to Klay, right? I mean, you run in circles that are such that you see each other at different places. But
and Boch, the connection with the Bay there.
Yeah. So anyway, they put their jerseys on them and they look great in them. And then slowly we're watching as Klay Thompson is getting everything he needs to take a few swings in the batting cage. And I'm wondering if he's really going to do it because he seems reluctant. And then I hear Dwight Powell, we're standing near him, and Dwight's like, I don't think I'm going to do this. I don't think I'm going to do this. And anyway, then Klay gets a batting helmet. He gets batting gloves. Slowly but surely, he gets a little advice from Marcus Semien, who comes in. And slowly but surely, it seems like they talked him into it. So I'm not expecting much from Klay when he gets into this cage. I don't know how much he's played or anything. I do know we've seen many an NBA player throw out a first pitch who can't even get it to the dirt, much less to home plate. So I'm not sure what to expect. And the first pitch, and Boch is right behind because Boch is friends with him too. Boch is right behind the cage, right? And Marcus is right there. Kyle Higashioka, I noticed, is right there. He was having fun with all this. Anyway, first pitch, again, from Tony Beasley from about 50 feet, and it's just, it's a batting practice pitch. It's not super hard. And Klay fouls it off, like barely gets his bat on it. It goes behind him. Second pitch, he whiffs so hard you could have felt the breeze. And Boch is giving him crap. I couldn't hear what he said, but, shouting at him and laughing and everything. And I'll be damned if Klay Thompson didn't stroke that next one to the warning track. I thought it was going to get out. And then he starts just one after the other, line drive after line drive. And I'm like, oh, Klay Thompson's an athlete. Well, I didn't realize. You told me today. I'd not caught up with. His brother played Major League Baseball.
His brother did for 7 years.
7 years.
7 years. 4 with the Dodgers,
player.
3 with the White Sox, 1 with the Cubs, 1 with the Padres, 1 with Oakland.
Okay.
But no, Klay looked at me and he's like, I will for sure go yard. And he almost did.
Yeah,
and
he never did.
He really didn't want to get out of the cage.
No, well, he kept thinking, I'm going to do it because he kept hitting him to the warning track. He had warning track power. That said, it's a big ballpark, right? It's a big ballpark. It ain't easy to get one out of there, even
Dwight
a BP
Powell,
pitch.
not so much. He did end up getting in the cage, but it wasn't comparable.
No, he didn't look as good. Take a look at the pictures of Klay. Is it both of them?
No, it's just
this
Klay.
is this is
the first
Klay,
pitch.
This is Clay's first pitch. It's Mavs.
That was a strike.
And Mavs night at the ballpark is. But this is. I'm going to say this. That's the best first pitch I've ever seen. It was a fastball with a little movement. It was almost like a slider, but it was more of a fastball grip. And I'll be darned if it didn't have a little movement. It was a strike.
The batting helmet is sending me.
That's something. Not a lot of pitchers wear batting helmets, but he was quick to put it on. What's funny, the guard.
He was clearly in an alter ego. He was having the time of his life.
And the guard, who you see the guard when you, that's over there by the umpire's tunnel, that's right by the third base dugout, and he wears that blue batting helmet. The one Klay was wearing was his. So he says to me, do you think it's in bad form if I ask Klay to sign it? I go, no, you should ask him. So I'll see him today, and I'll ask him if he was brave enough to ask Klay to sign it. But anyway, that was pretty fun. That was a fun.
Yeah, that was fun.
That was a fun way to get that game started.
And what's funnier is that the Athletics were all out watching Klay.
Remember, Klay played there in that marketplace for all those years, so he knows so many of them, and that's how he knows Marcus so well. Marcus still goes back there to Northern California in the off season, so they see each other hanging out at various places.
I was catching up with one of the A's coaching staff, and I was like, what's the biggest adjustment about the park? He's like, man, it's just a long walk from the dugout back to the clubhouse. And did you ever see the manager got ejected? And it was just the funniest thing because it was just this slow zoom in on him walking, the whole warning track to get back. So that's just
the Rangers are going back there in August. I heard people talking about it yesterday, and of course, the last time they were there, Corey hurt. It might have been when he first hurt the hammy, and he had to walk all the way out there just to get back. It's not a good setup. They did put a lot of money into it. Bad setup out there. Elsewhere in our batting cleanup segment, the Brewers have reached 11 wins in a row and now have the best record in baseball. Yeah, they have surpassed the Tigers and surpassed the Cubs. They're at 60-40 for the season. Pretty amazing. That's an amazing accomplishment. They won their first game of this 11-game streak on July the 6th. So you think about that. I mean, we're darn near to the end of July here. And they continue. Now, granted, the All-Star break was in there, so you had essentially a week off. But that's a long time to have a winning streak stretch from July 6th till, the 22nd now.
Normally, when you get time off, momentum.
Right.
It kills your momentum. So that's impressive, actually. And this is the latest in the season that they've held this since they won the AL pennant in 1982. So history repeats itself.
Harvey's Wallbangers back in 1982. That was a heck of a team. That was a good team. Jose Ramirez got to 2020 yesterday. The Guardians, great. How many? Do you have that? How many
Recorded
years?
his 7th career
7.
2020 season on Monday. He got his 20th home run, and he's now one of 6 players in MLB history with as many 2020 seasons. I'm excited to see what he does by the end of the year, because when my brother and I were watching postseason last year, and we were like, he's just so like sleepy good.
Yeah.
Like, you don't realize what Jose Ramirez does every single year consistently. I mean, it's almost like Marcus Semien. You don't realize how much he plays, until you look it up, kind of thing. But he's, I mean, was he 40-40 last year?
Yeah.
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 I mean.
Yeah, and by the way, Marcus Semien, you tweeted this last night. It was a great tweet. Marcus Semien, the Rangers have played 101 games. Marcus played 100.
Right? We're gonna rest.
Yeah,
him
this
here.
is we gotta give Marcus his breaks this year. No, they haven't, and they won't now. They're not gonna put take Marcus out of the lineup now. I mean, he might get a day or two of rest yet. I don't know, but he's not. He's gonna be in the 160 to 162 game range. I mean, 155 to 160 game range.
Did you know that like Dwight Powell used to be that equivalent for the Mavs? He would play the whole season. He would not miss a game.
Wow.
For like multiple seasons in a row.
Yeah. I remember OAC Green when he was that guy in the NBA too. Dating myself there. That was very cool. Yesterday, something happened in baseball that has not happened since they started keeping the stat of earned run, which was 1913. I think it's so cool when something happens for the first time in 112 years of baseball being played, and that is a pitcher, a Baltimore Orioles pitcher by the name of Corbin Martin, had a pitching line that went, do we have it, Kat? 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. The hit by pitch and the balk were the two that were pretty amazing.
In one inning. Yeah.
All in one inning. 1 earned run, 1 walk, 1 strikeout, 1 home run, 1 hit by pitch, and 1 balk. Wow. It's never happened before since they started keeping the stat of earned runs.
Why not do it all?
Just got it all done. He's all ones, right? Which is good in a lot of realms. Not necessarily good in baseball, but in that case, it's just cool. It's amazing. And without the balk, that has happened. All those ones minus the balk have happened somewhat recently, as recently as 2024, actually. But you add the balk in, and you've got all those ones. It's never happened since they started keeping that stat back in 2013. I mean 1913. So well over 100 years now. So pretty cool. That's one of the things about baseball. You go to the ballpark every night, and you never know what to expect. You're never sure what you're going to see, and that's what people saw in that Baltimore-Cleveland game yesterday. Tonight, they'll see, what you're going to see, in a way. You're going to see degromination, Abs. I like that word.
Degrominate.
Yeah.
Or degromination.
Degromination.
I got another batting cleanup for you.
Yeah.
It's 100 years in the making. Player since 1901 to have 300 strikeouts and a sub-2 ERA through 44 career MLB games.
Okay.
Paul Skeens.
Skeens is it?
Skeens is it.
Yeah, that's not surprising.
And Shohei Ohtani delivered his own insurance last night.
Yeah, hit a home run. He gave up a home run, or maybe 2, but he hit a home run,
If you do the math, he hit 1 for himself, so it kind of balances it out. But that's bananas.
Yeah, he's amazing.
He's his own
We've said
run
it
insurance.
in so many different ways. We showed you yesterday how he compares to Babe Ruth. He's exceeded what he did to Ken Griffey Jr., to Nolan Ryan, and who was the other pitcher, huh? I can't remember.
Kershaw.
Yeah, that's right, Kershaw, yeah. So his own teammate, yeah. So anyway, he continues to amaze us. There's no question about that. You continue to amaze us by hanging out with us and having fun with us as we talk baseball. Tomorrow, remember that we will be here for a post-game show after the finale
Hopefully
of this
sweep.
A's.
Call it.
Yeah. Is it going to be a sweep?
I think so.
I think so, too. especially if Eovaldi pitches. I'll say it. They're going to sweep this team. They'll take 2 of 3 on the weekend. They'll have a 7-2 homestand, and that's an awfully good. That's almost 70% of a winning percentage, right at 70. So to start this second half of the season, we said they need to win 60% of their games in the second half of the season in order to have a legitimate shot at the playoffs. That would get them to 87 or 88 wins. If they continue at this pace, they'll have more than that.
I hate to say it, Rads, but, I'm back on the show, so.
I think that might be it. I think that's exactly the
timing.
difference. And so we'll be glad to have Abs here again tomorrow. She'll be with us Thursday, too. Post-game tomorrow. And then remember that we will have another 1 o'clock show that comes your way on Thursday. So thanks for hanging out with us. And don't jinx it. Sorry about that. We will see you again, and we'll prove we didn't jinx it. That'll come tomorrow night after the game. Thanks for hanging out with us today on the DLLS Rangers podcast.
We all silly like the mayor.